Let's go over Solo, a Star Wars story when it comes to an updated box office results. This is Mike Zero here. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, as you all know, the Han Solo movie debuted on Thursday, May 24th on its pre-opening night, and on its official day, May 25th. And since then, we've been seeing the box office performing very, very slowly and sluggish. And looking at the Han Solo movie, a lot of people, whenever they went into the theater, have been saying that each and every theater was very much empty or not as full as it was for both Rogue One, The Last Jedi, and even The Force Awakens. And I can honestly say that I experienced the same exact thing when I saw on Thursday night, pre-opening night. Now, that was the day before the official release of Solo, a Star Wars story, in which when I went in on Rogue One, The Force Awakens, and The Last Jedi, I had to wait on a line just to get into my theater. But anyways, looking past all of this, according to Mashable, Business Insider, and even Forbes, they all have been going over Solo, a Star Wars story box office and how it bombed. And we do have a little update on the box office results for the whole entire 4 days of Memorial Day weekend. Now, do keep in mind that today, it's not entirely over just yet, but the projections are actually marking in at a cap of 150 to 165 million, globally speaking, for Solo, a Star Wars story. Now, a lot of media outlets out there are saying that Solo, a Star Wars story is a failure when it comes to, box office-wise. As far as the story goes, like I said, I have seen the movie. I went over it in both my spoilers review and in my non-spoilers review. Like I say, it's a good movie, not a great film. I enjoyed Rogue One more. It's a fun ride to me. I think that Ron Howard did a good job. I just don't see it as a great movie. I didn't like L337 at all. But looking past all of that, the fact that a lot of the media is covering the box office results right now, and a lot of it isn't looking too good. A lot of it is actually saying how Solo, a Star Wars story bombed at the box office. And if you look at it in comparison to Rogue One, The Last Jedi, and even The Force Awakens, it really isn't making all that much money in comparison to those films. Now, I definitely do believe that The Last Jedi Backlash has a big effect on all of this. There are probably other factors that are coming into it, but I do believe that the Solo boycott definitely had a lot to do with it, because I've never seen this in all of my life, with all the Star Wars movies on pre-opening night, going into a theater and having it 50% full. That was my experience. 50% or maybe even less. Nobody in the front, nobody in the back, just people in the middle. Now, Solo, a Star Wars story, they're looking at 150 to 165 million globally for 4 days total. Alright, that's globally speaking. Meanwhile, Rogue One, just domestically, for 3 days, it actually garnered 155 million domestic. So, I'm not sure what the global estimates were for Rogue One for 3 days globally. But anyways, looking at the Han Solo movie, guys, like I say, the box office, it's not performing too well, and a lot of people have been going over this all day and all night, all the different media outlets out there, how Solo, a Star Wars story bombed. The links are listed below in the description if you guys would like to go ahead and check that out. Now, we do know that Disney distribution chief Dave Hollis is trying to get down to the bottom of it all. Disney is trying to figure out exactly why this all happened, why the box office is performing in such a way for a Star Wars movie on Memorial Day weekend. And this is May, right? This is just before the summer. You would figure it's a great time to go out and go ahead and see a Star Wars movie, even at nighttime, whether it be on a Thursday, Friday, or Saturday night, even a Sunday night, because everybody's off on Monday for the most part when it comes to this holiday. And looking at Solo, a Star Wars story, the fact that Disney's really trying to get down to the bottom of it all, we, do know that Disney is, quite concerned on their part when it comes to the box office results. Obviously, they probably expected to receive a whole lot more than what they got for this movie. Now, could this also have to do with the marketing and how that was done? That's another factor that a lot of people are going over, is that we didn't get a trailer until February, and it wasn't even a full trailer. It was a little Super Bowl teaser, and then the next day after the Super Bowl, we got an extended teaser trailer. Then we had to wait quite a bit, I believe it was like 2 months or so, well, maybe it might have been like a month or a month and a half, till we got that full trailer for Solo: A Star Wars Story, and then after that, there was a bit of a gap before we got TV spots. So, could it have had to do with the marketing is another possibility, but like I say, I think that The Last Jedi Backlash and how a lot of hardcore fans didn't really go ahead and see this movie right away, or won't even go ahead and see the movie at all, definitely has to do a lot with it. Now, Disney did not at all, in any way, shape, or form, say anything that has to do with The Last Jedi Backlash and fans refraining from seeing this movie. None of that was mentioned at all, whatsoever. So, like I say, guys, I really do want to see this Star Wars franchise just be a healthy thing from this point on forward. I feel like that there is a lot of things going on right now in the Star Wars community, and I just hope things, just get better. I hope that the future of this franchise just looks fresh and solid, and so far, everything that is currently in the works, we have, the creators of Game of Thrones and their set of Star Wars movies, which honestly, from the little things that we have heard, it honestly sounds like it's going to be quite a promising, series of movies, because we do know that they know how to do their stuff. Now, looking at Rian Johnson's trilogy, I have gone over this. I'm not quite sure how I feel about that just yet. We haven't seen anything, but I do have a little bit of trust issues with Rian Johnson's trilogy after The Last Jedi Backlash and the film itself. Now, the Han Solo film, one would argue that this is a movie that nobody asked for, right? A lot of people would use that phrase a lot. This is a movie that we have not asked for at all by Disney and Lucasfilm. Now, I think that some parts of it are definitely something worthwhile, like how Han met Chewie, how Han acquired the Falcon, introducing the game of Sabacc, how Han met Lando Calrissian and the relationship before the events of the original trilogy. It has its great moments. It's a fun ride. But I think I would have rather to see a whole spiritual side of the story and a war film before the Han Solo movie, like a Kenobi movie or maybe even a Jedi Purge film or something around those lines. So anyways, guys, let me know what you think about Solo: A Star Wars Story. Do you agree that the box office bombed, or do you disagree with all the media outlets out there reporting about this? Drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about that. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.